Day number 4 of the World Cup. Let's go. First and foremost, I gotta thank everyone. We just hit 1,000 subscribers in like 2 days. It's been really cool to start this new adventure, and I'm really happy to have all of you guys alongside me. Getting into the World Cup now. So once again, things started rolling even before the matches started. There was this clip which everyone seemed to find pretty funny except for the Argentinians.
기쁨을 만끽했습니다.
Excuse me, where is Messi? Where is Messi?
Where is Messi?
Where is Messi? Where is Messi? Anybody see Messi? Where is Messi?
Congratulations!
Thank you so much.
And if they were already upset over this, then things got much worse when Dybala decided to just start liking random posts on Twitter that were pretty much mocking Argentina. Someone is really upset over being left out of the squad. And once all of that was done, we got to watch Morocco play against Croatia, and to a certain degree, I almost wish we hadn't, because honestly, this was the worst World Cup match so far by a long shot. I won't even bother you too much with the details. 45 minutes went by before either team even managed to get a shot on target. It was boring. And there weren't many redeeming factors. Morocco were well aware they weren't the favorites, so they just spent the whole match trying to stop Croatia from progressing the ball. Honestly, at some point it was almost painful to watch, but it was still impressive that they managed to hold on until the very last minute and get the draw. However, it is one more goalless draw in this World Cup, which could very soon become a record. Speaking of records, when it comes to all of the other 3 matches we got to see today, a bunch of those were broken. The first thing that made the news was the German players covering their mouths in protest against the organizers, but at least we got some comic relief with Tomiyasu being shocked once the journalists told him that Thiago Alcantara had not been called up for the Spanish squad.
Thiago, Spain, Thiago.
Thiago Alcantara.
Yeah.
He's not coming.
He's not coming.
Finally not. But there is any other one?
Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't know that.
From the start of the match all the way to the 70th minute, Germany pretty much dominated completely. Musiala was making a mockery of the Japanese defense, Gundogan got an early goal through a penalty, Kai Havertz had his goal cancelled, then the second half started with 2 shots hitting the woodwork, and we even got to see Rudiger run like this. But it was around the 70th minute mark that Asano and Hitsuda Wan came in. Immediately the game changed completely, and they were battling Neuer with one shot after the other, and then in the space of 8 minutes each one of them got a goal, putting Japan in front. It was especially interesting that these two were the ones to get the goals, since both of them play in the Bundesliga. Regardless, from there on out it was a battle, just trying to get to the final whistle without letting go of their lead. And finally, well, it happened. And the Japanese fans, well, they went crazy. And if that isn't enough, just see what Yuto Nagatomo had to say.
Bravo! Bravo! Bravo!
Hey, I had to come back to say just one more thing. You know how Japanese fans always clean up the stadium before they leave? Well, I just saw someone say, Japan will literally murder your team and then clean up the crime scene. Yeah, this was another iconic match, historic in a million different ways. For starters, it was the first time in history that Japan managed to win a World Cup match despite conceding first. Only one other team in history had managed to win a World Cup game while keeping such a low percentage of possession, and well, ironically, it was South Korea against Germany in their very last match at the World Cup before this one. It doesn't get much more absurd than that. Or at least that's what I would say if I hadn't watched the rest of the matches today. Because in the first half of today's match, Germany completed 422 passes, which is the most out of any World Cup game in recorded history. Which is especially crazy, given that in the following match, Spain not only beat Costa Rica 7-0, but they completed 537 passes, breaking the all-time record for the second time in the same day. Which also serves as a kind of red alert for Germany, because well, if they want to get to the knockout stages, they will have to beat Spain, and it's not looking likely, which means that Germany might be out of the World Cup. Regardless, focusing now on the match between Spain and Costa Rica, all I have to say is that I feel sorry for Keylor Navas. First came Dani Olmo with a Bergkamp-like finish, then Marco Asensio, then 2 goals by Ferran Torres, then came Gavi with a 5th goal, as the fans already chanted Olé in the stands, and the kid made history. He was the 3rd youngest goal scorer in the history of the competition, meaning that the last time someone younger than him managed to score a goal at the World Cup was literally Pelé in 1958 at 17 years of age. I wonder how it feels for Gavi to already be mentioned alongside someone like Pelé. And I'm not even gonna bother describing the rest of the goals in detail, because honestly, if I were to do that, we would be here all day. Just consider the fact that 7 goals is just one less than Spain scored when they won the entire competition in 2010. Overall, if I had to pick a man of the match, it would probably be Gavi, but it was really impressive to see Busquets at his age bringing out the inner Xavi and Iniesta inside Gavi and Pedri. And if that seems like a stretch, just keep in mind that Spain had 81% possession. That's literally the highest percentage of possession kept by any team in the World Cup's recorded history. I'm pretty sure Xavi and Iniesta are really proud watching this game from home. I mean, just look at their passing map. They literally attempted more than 1,000 passes in 90 minutes. I don't even think I need to say that that is also a World Cup record. Maybe Luis Enrique shouldn't be so often questioned about how he selects his players. On the other side though, there was also another record broken in this match. Costa Rica failed to record a single shot throughout the whole game, which is only the 2nd time in history it ever happened, and I kid you not, the only other time it did, it was also Costa Rica, but in 1990 playing against Brazil. And when it comes to my whole theory that Germany are pretty much out of the World Cup, I have one final note that will probably bring a bit of hope for the Germans. The last time someone managed to beat a team by more than 7-0 in the World Cup, it was Germany versus Saudi Arabia in 2002. So if someone is able to outdo the Spain squad, it should be Germany. So finally the last match of the day, Belgium versus Canada. And considering how much additional time we've been getting in every single match, I found it really funny that the referee they selected for this game was Gianni Sikazwe. If that name doesn't sound familiar, well, I guess this photo probably helps. Yeah, he's the referee who tried to stop the match between Mali and Tunisia at the 85th minute. It really seems he's the hero we need this time around. To be fair, let me just say, I'm obviously playing around because it is definitely a good thing that they're giving us the additional time needed in order to stop time wasting. And also, I think I should probably say this because to this day, people still seem to think that Sikazwe was probably bribed by Mali or something like that, while in reality, the guy was just literally suffering a heat stroke. So if you thought he was out of his mind, well, he really was, like, literally. So, yeah, poor guy. Focusing on the match though, this one also didn't shy away from breaking some records. 39-year-old Atiba Hutchinson was the oldest player to be present at a World Cup match since 1994, when Roger Milla played one at 42 years of age, which is mind-blowing. To make it even funnier, he was then replaced by Ismael Koné, who was just 7 months old when Hutchinson got his World Cup debut. Regardless, when it comes to the match, well, Canada deserved much more. Especially with so many upsets happening at the World Cup, it must have felt bad. I mean, they got 14 shots without scoring in just the first half of the match, which is the most out of anyone since 2006. They pretty much looked like this. With Alphonso Davies even missing a penalty. Belgium, on the other hand, were the complete opposite. By the 72-minute mark, Batshuayi was still the only player to register a shot. Once again, this match just served to show how insane it is that they're still ranked 2nd in the world according to FIFA. You just gotta be sorry for Canada. This would have been their first World Cup match to end with something other than a defeat, and if at least they had managed to get the goal, it would have been the first one in their history. But honestly, at this rate, they'll eventually manage to get something out of this World Cup. If it wasn't for Courtois, they would probably have done it already. Honestly, out of every player in that squad, he's easily the one who scares me the most, and I just hope that by the end of the tournament, he will get the recognition that he deserves. So yeah, that was a bit of a slower day, but at least tomorrow we have Brazil and Portugal, which is definitely gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, like the video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.